that they should reach out to us.
They like Origin. They think
Yeah.
that Origin should be used almost exclusively over Steam. And
We're coming up on an hour and a half, so I think we're gonna probably run off to lunch soon. But if there's any closing thoughts or anything else you wanna chat about, Waldo, let us know.
there's
Let us know.
oh yeah, a Uplay only release, that would be nice.
Yeah. We're an NVIDIA Shield exclusive now.
I like NVIDIA's Shadowplay, surprisingly. No, I think that's it. If there's anything else, I would love to do a follow-up thing on Mr. Picky Pants. I think you've answered. I mean, fuck, you guys have been great answering like 8 billion questions.
Yeah,
so
feel free
thank
to
you
do a
very
follow-up.
much for doing this. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Let's do it again soon. Let's make it a thing. It's fun. You guys have your viewers have really good questions, and it's fun for us to show off the really early kind of underneath the skirt stuff. You know, not just the hyper polished stuff. So good to get that feedback.
If they have other questions, what's the best way to get in contact with you guys? If they want to let you guys know, do they shield break? Do they do Bierzerkers? What's the best way to get in contact with you guys? Twitter?
Yeah, so definitely follow us on Twitter. We did make a subreddit that is basically completely empty.
But it's there.
That would probably be a good place to post questions so that you know, if and when we reply to them, there's a record there, you know, that people can refer back to. I think it's just reddit.com/r/Bierzerkers.
How good are you guys about answering things if they send them to you on Twitter?
Well, as good as I possibly can be. I mean, if you guys tweet, you're basically talking to me.
Oh, so, you're the one that controls that, Skytrim?
Yep. Yeah. And I usually check that account pretty regularly, so feel free to tweet at it, and happy to get back to you on there too.
So Q1 release, we're looking at Q1 early access release. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. Q1 early access, and then kind of full commercial release later on in 2015 on PC, and then beyond that, we'd look at console potentially, but that just will kind of depend on, you know, how well the game does, and we're able to continue development and doing this, which we'd love to do.
Whether or not you guys need to go back and get real jobs within the community, or
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we can continue to operate Shield Break, we'll be continuing to put it out on more platforms and adding features for as long as we possibly can. Actual Q1 piggy poop balls, to answer your question.
There you go.
I just wanted to say piggy poop balls before we signed off.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate
Thanks, Waldo. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
See
you guys.
Disconnected.
So that's it for today, guys. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, Twitter or their website, Shield Break Studios, and they've got another special site just for Bierzerkers. Obviously, like I said, their game is in pre-alpha stages right now. They're trying to do something that's similar to Smash Brothers, with power-ups, third-person, aimable combat. Hopefully they answer the crux of your questions today. And like I said, we'll do something on the website a little bit later as far as some more in-depth questions if you guys have anything else. And I just want to touch on a few of the more common questions that everybody had from today, which seemed like it was basically how is your game going to differentiate itself from Dark Souls or Chivalry? What makes it stand out in contrast to those? How are you going to handle the melee Zerg rush, etc., etc., etc. I know they didn't answer any Dragon Age 2 questions. It's a tough position to put him in. Stream some Call of Duty. Did you guys with the stream today? Is that something that you guys enjoyed? Did you guys or did you guys get behind that? Did you appreciate that? Did you think it was useful? Is this something you would like to see again in the future? Did you feel like it was helpful? Um, would it be more helpful if we could do it at a different time? I know that what day is today? Is it today Tuesday? I know that Tuesday morning is probably not the ideal time to get most of the people out here to do it. Yeah, I mean they are actual devs. These guys have worked in the industry, like I said, mainly Blizzard, Blizzard Activision. Um, good. Yeah, the timing wasn't great. Maybe in the future, if we do it again, we can do it on a weekend or something, and grab maybe instead of looking for the team, maybe we could get other people playing without the devs playing, and then have a couple of the guys sitting around there answering most of the questions, essentially Skytram, Will, um, etc., etc. Oh, they linked to different Waldodude Twitter. Yeah, though. Everybody kept asking, how do you know these guys? We know them because Greg, Greg was like they said. Greg, I think, was their CEO, and Greg slash Dainty Goose was. I knew Greg more than a decade ago because I recruited Greg at the time. I had no idea who he was, and anyway, just some guy that played Battlefield, and he was one of our pilots, and we recruited him to play on our Battlefield team, the prize fighting goats, back in the day. So that's how I knew Greg, and that's how I got mixed up with all the guys from the Studio Rumble stuff they talked about. Were a couple private servers that they played Team Fortress 2 on a lot, and I got as my first exposure to TF2. So a lot of it would be like the Blizzard versus Valve rivalry stuff, and so of course they brought in he brought in his fucking Cal teammates to help even the odds a little bit, I guess, in Blizzard's favor. Um, and that's how we all got involved. And fast forward 10 years, and then they started off they wanted to do their own thing. They did their own Blizzard thing for a while, and then they wanted to do their own thing. And this is what they wanted to do. As you heard them, they feel like the market was flooded with first-person shooters, and they wanted to do something that was a little bit unique, a little bit different.
Jump on it! Jump on it! Jump on it!
Um, Unfortunately, as most of you guys know, Greg did pass away in a exceptionally tragic car accident a few months ago. So, but these guys are still hard at work on their project trying to make that happen. And I think they said Q1 early access, and then late 2015 would be the full retail release. Yes. It's hard not to mention it and still be upset about it, but yeah, he was a good guy. He was a really good guy. So, what can you do? The best thing you can do is, I guess, just go on and try to finish what he started. So that's what they're doing. Drunkard humping animation. Yeah, there's actually one of the taunts. You can see they got quite a few taunts there. They're pretty fun. This one right here, the sword thrusting in and out, is hopefully going to be a one of the kill animations. You'll be able to kill people with that in the future. Is there anything else that I can? If those guys can get hired by Blizzard, how did I not get hired? Well, I was a big fucking idiot 10 years ago. Is there anything else I can answer you guys before we end it for today? Is there anything that you want me to try to touch on before we head out? Or are we good?
Dun, 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 dun. Vader, jump on it! Jump on it! Jump on it!
We can do something else later today, Psyking. Will I be sucking the ding-dongs of other devs to get on them sometime? You know, it's not easy to get in with devs if you're obviously a channel of my size. One of the things that we had talked about, it's actually kind of interesting that you say that. One of the things we had talked about was that, gosh, these guys have already had exposure from people like Gassy Mexican and a few of the other really, really, really big channels. People, you know, people on basically lyric level, where you know they're broadcasting to 10 and 20,000 people. So I think our high today was just under 200. And so they realized that they weren't going to get that kind of exposure. The goal today with them meeting us, which I think was so fucking, I mean, I don't know. I think it's the coolest thing in the world, was to get feedback on what you guys thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see, what are the questions that some of the community has. And our stream is actually a much better size, I think, for something like that. I think the smaller size caters to that more, something that's more discussion based. Anyway, long story short, I don't see stuff happening with other devs. I don't think that BioWare is going to be reaching out to somebody that's not broadcasting to 20,000 people. I've actually been working with Homeless Santa, who moonlights as a criminal defense lawyer, trying to get him to lend an air of formality or professionalism to asking for a few things like early releases or demos, anything along those lines. None of it, by the way, has worked out thus far. So I think that the only thing that's going to be selling them is raw numbers, or, as always, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And like I said, lucked out with meeting somebody, a stand-up guy like Greg. And Greg was in Blizzard, and I met a bunch of other guys in other studios as a result of playing fucking games every goddamn day with Greg for umpteen years. Greg was actually at, I know a lot of you guys have watched the fucking video, which is so embarrassing, and read the stories, but Greg was at not the first PDX LAN, but the second PDX LAN. We actually played Battlefield Vietnam. Greg was actually at that LAN. Yeah, thank you, Bravo, Julia Bravo, appreciate it. They had PDX LAN had, gosh, I'll never forget when we went there. Greg had we used, well, they had these really fucked up server settings where they had friendly fires called team punish. A lot of you guys were asking about settings tonight with this game. How are you going to get around it? As far as like TK punish and stuff is basically the answer in regards to friendly fire. They had all the stuff. They had all these bizarre settings where they had TK punish on in a tournament setting, which is, there's a reason to have a setting like TK punish on in a multiplayer setting with all these random individuals, but there's not a reason to have TK punish on in a coordinated tournament. And on that, the instance that happened in particular was I went and stole another guy's plane from their base, and this plane shot out heat-seeking missiles, and there was no way to control where the heat-seeking missiles went, other than like this vague sort. There was no lock-on system. It was just like this vague sort of fucking, you're aiming in this direction of something that has a heat signature, and hopefully it goes there. Long story short, the heat-seeking missiles went towards Greg's fucking moped, and they blew up Greg. And then because I team killed fucking Greg, it kicked me out of the server and locked me out in the middle of like our playoffs match. And like in the middle of our fucking match, I had to go up to like the fucking dev or whatever, one of the guys, I don't know what you would call him, the guy who was in charge of the fucking tournament, and get them to like turn off the fucking setting and get me back into the mat. Anyway, completely clusterfuck. What do I think is the biggest problem with Berserkers? The biggest problem with Bierzerkers is, realistically, as somebody is trying not to, I guess, make too much of it right now, because they're in such an early stage of pre-alpha. Like I said, the most important part you could take away from today is they're going for, they told you the type of game that they're going for: Smash Brothers, 3D, power-ups, all sorts of things. So the most important part you can take is that they're going for a more, the emphasis I feel like is going to be on fun versus 1v1 skill. You're not going to see the equivalent of 360 no scopes. The biggest problem would be trying to decide what you think of it even after seeing a stream like today. Do they realistically have a large enough dev team to produce a quality finished product, I'm assuming, by Q1 2015? We'll have to see, DeviantCon. I hope so. Well, Ruiner, I mean, what we know as far as stats go, we know that 2013, like I said, I think that the stats are, I mean, once again, Greg would have been the person to talk to about this. The stats are that, like, Steam sales, I think, had a jump in 30%, and console sales decreased by 20%. So we'll see what happens at the end of 2014 and whether those numbers continue to go up or whether they go back down. So now seems like a great time to developing all sorts of indie titles. Great way to get into the market and do something. What was I gonna say? Why isn't it called Bierzerkers? I don't know. Thank you, Jezo, for coming out. Appreciate it, brother. So the PC market seems like a great place to put it out on, with the tools and the ability to market it, market your target audience on Steam. And they've already, like they said, I mean, they're talking about marketing like fuck. They've already lucked out and crushed a couple of huge names in the gaming world. Oh, Ubisoft in particular? Well, yeah, I'm not going to comment on Ubisoft in particular. We'll be getting the alpha next year? Yeah, I would love. Well, of course I'm going to be picking up the alpha. So anyway, we'll just have mod support. They said that they're hoping it's something that, and as of right now, they haven't touched on it. Their team is too small. So the logistical problems. Gosh, I was talking about this with Sanser. The logistical problems of creating any type of indie game without the aid of a publisher is what largely the kind of questions that you guys are running into right now. How do you finish a game? How do you make? Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, it's not going to be a AAA title. It never will be. Yeah, it's PC only, Kanani. So yeah, I mean, it'll only get easier over time. But I mean, like you're seeing, like it's not anywhere near as easy. It's more difficult to develop games than you can possibly imagine, which is why most of the fucking indie titles, you know, even like Minecraft. I mean, I don't know anybody who's in with Notch, but I mean, Notch had a fucking team of guys just to make fucking Minecraft. And this game, the kinds of hurdles they're already overcoming, you know, like they've already surpassed. I mean, the types of hurdles they're having overcome to create a game like this are galaxies away from any type of hurdle you'd have to overcome when you're creating a game like Minecraft. They had a team of guys doing fucking Minecraft. I don't know how many, but I mean, it's really tough to go the indie route. Are they backed by investors? I think they talked about doing Kickstarter / that the early access will be their Kickstarter, unless they mention they're doing a Kickstarter in addition to. Are they backed by investors? Yeah, so I hope that answers that. Notch started off working on Minecraft alone. I don't know how much assistance he got from Mojang or other assistants throughout it. But I was just saying, I mean, that game, Minecraft would be one of the most simplistic possible, games that you could develop. So I don't know. I mean, Minecraft would be on one side, and I don't know what would be on the other side. Probably DayZ. A game like DayZ would be like the most complicated game that you could try to go for indie development, which is probably why, from a technical point of view, there are so many fucking problems with DayZ, Arma, Breaking Point, etc., etc., etc. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw the video I put up yesterday, but yeah, I mean the fucking gigantic hitboxes on this helicopter, and apparently I hit it and it took off like a meteor. Well, I did. I know I said Runer. I don't know how many people were involved on it, but I'm saying as far as indie projects go, that would be one of the smaller projects that you can do with a small team. And I'm just saying that's why it's really tough to go the indie route. One of the big perks to going, I would assume, with publishers is all sorts of support and assistance, and I mean, I think DayZ is anything but simple. You've got crafting systems, you've got a PvP system, you've got mechanics that need to handle large amounts of players and NPC characters. Holy shit, you've got so many fucking problems in DayZ. So many problems. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, we're just gonna call it there for now. So if you guys want another stream, I'll think about maybe trying to do another stream today. If we don't do anything today, we'll definitely do something tomorrow. Still early. Oh gosh, it's 2 in the afternoon. I didn't realize how late it was. I didn't realize that we had ticked forward an hour. Anyway, we're gonna go for there. Thank you guys once again for coming out. I really, really, really appreciate it, especially everybody who asked good questions. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I love stuff like this. This is what I live for. I feel very fortunate to just be able to talk to these guys, chit chat with them, and pick people's brains who are in the process of creating a game. So I think that it's a really cool opportunity. Forget everybody else, just for myself. So have a good one, and we'll see you guys again soon.